Hello guys. So let's have a quick revision of what we saw in the last sessions. So we started with periodic classification of elements. Okay. So what we saw, we have learned about Dauber-Renier strides. Strides is group of 3. So Dauber-Renier classified elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses. So according to Dauber-Renier's, Newland and Mendeleev, the most fundamental property was atomic mass. What is atomic mass? If you remember, atomic mass is sum of protons and neutrons in the nucleus. Exactly. And what is atomic number? Atomic number is number of protons or number of electrons, since the number of protons or electrons are the same. So we saw Dauber-Renier strides, then we saw the example. As I told you, if you are asked about Dauber-Renier strides, state Dauber-Renier strides. So you are supposed to write Dauber-Renier strides. Along with what you'll do, you'll write example. LiNAK is a famous example. Lithium, as you can see here, lithium is 6.9, potassium 39.1. and divided by 2 is approximately 23, which is approximately equal to the middle element. Then came Newland. Newland arranged elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses, but the main fundamental property was octaves, that is group of 8. He arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses, but he considered first element, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth element should be placed below the first one, and so on. So was Newland successful? No, he could arrange elements only up to calcium. After calcium, the property of every eighth element was not similar to first. So what he did, he actually, here you can see in the table, he arranged the elements. He arranged all the elements. Here you can see there were 7 cross 8, 56 boxes. So at the time of Newland, how many elements were known? 56. He arranged the elements, but he placed 2 elements in the same position, which were differ in the properties. Or the law says, or there was a rule which states that you cannot place 2 elements in the same position, since they have same what properties. So there is only one position for one element. So he placed elements all placed all the elements just to accommodate the position. So according to the law, only elements up to calcium followed the Newland's law. After calcium, the property of every eighth element was not similar to the first one. Okay. So next came Mendeleev. Even he arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses. So was Mendeleev successful? But he was not successful. But Mendeleev was the first scientist who could classify all the elements known at that time. So by the time of Mendeleev, there were 63 elements. So Mendeleev was the first scientist who could classify all the 63 elements. He could arrange all the 63 elements. So if you remember, horizontal rows are known as periods and vertical columns are known as groups. So horizontal rows are known as periods, vertical columns are known as groups. As I told you earlier, elements in the same group, you can place elements one below the another unless they have same chemical properties. If they differ in properties, you cannot place one below the another. So the basic rule is you can place one below the another, but they should have same chemical properties. Okay. So that was Mendeleev was the first who could classify all 63 elements. Apart from that, he had great vision. He said in the future terms, he predicted the properties of the elements. He predicted name of those elements, Eka boron, aluminium, Eka silicon and all, which were later found, elements were found, they were found to be correct. But as I told you, Eka boron, Eka aluminium, Eka silicon वगैरह उनके नाम हैं, स्कैंडियम, जर्मानियम वगैरह. तो आपको ये MCQ के लिए या फिर मैच द फॉलोइंग के लिए डेफिनेटली ये पूछा जा सकता है. सो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दैट. ओके. So that was the second point. Third point, even certain doubtful atomic masses were corrected, like beryllium, the doubtful atomic mass was 14.9, that was corrected to 9.4. So at certain places, you can say, not at everywhere, but at certain places doubtful atomic masses were corrected. Here you can see there is a point. So this is Mendeleev's periodic table where horizontal rows and vertical columns. Mendeleev did not follow any pattern. What that means is, he did not follow any pattern, a group of 3, group of 8. He did not follow anything like that. So the basic rule of Mendeleev was you can place elements one below the another, just they should have same chemical properties. So this pattern can have, first row can have 2 elements, second row can have 5, third can have 7 and fourth can have 6. Anyway, there was not fixed pattern, or you can say fixed number to follow. Just the property was you can place elements one below the another, they should have same chemical properties. So as I was telling you, The third point, so here you can see Eka boron, Eka aluminium, Eka silicon. These were the names, and their new names were scandium, gallium and germanium. So 1 mark question, MCQ, or you can say match the following and all. And as I told, doubtful atomic masses. So beryllium was 14.9, it was corrected to 9.01. So merits, so 14.09, it was corrected to 9.4. So this was the properties. Apart from prediction, apart from correcting doubtful atomic masses, Mendeleev, what he did, even he said, this is my table. And at the time of Mendeleev, there were no, you can say, noble gases, inert gases, discovery of noble gases or inert gases. But later when the time came, they found noble gases, inert gases, and Mendeleev left a blank space, or he said, you can say, a group. He said, place the elements here when they will be found in the future. As time passed, noble gases were found, inert, you can call them noble gases, inert gases, or zero group, whatever. They were placed in the Mendeleev's periodic table without disturbing the position of other elements. So you can see this was great achievement of Mendeleev, as he had great vision of prediction, for noble gases, inert gases, or for few elements. So he was a great man of that time. And even his table was used to study atomic masses, to predict the properties and all. So this was the only scientist of that time who was so successful. So here you can see some properties, Eka aluminium, which was called as gallium. So these were the properties he predicted. These were the Mendeleev's prediction, and this was the letter he was found. 68, it was 69.7. The sum actual, you can say, approximately equal to, you can say that. Okay. Now what were the demerits of Mendeleev's periodic table? So as I told you, you can see there was Doberanus, Newland, Mendeleev, and last was modern periodic table. So definitely it shows Mendeleev will have some drawbacks. So what are the drawbacks of Mendeleev's periodic table? Let's go through it. So let us understand Doberanus, Mendeleev and Newland. According to them, the most fundamental property of classification of elements was just atomic masses, as the discovery of atomic number is yet to be, atomic number, the concept is yet to be discovered. Okay, so let's understand that. So the first drawback was cobalt and nickel. So if you see cobalt and nickel, okay, so if you go here and you'll see, so cobalt and nickel. So according to table atomic masses, cobalt has higher mass, and see, I'll explain from here, cobalt and nickel. So here you can see cobalt and nickel. So according to Mendeleev, nickel has lower atomic mass and cobalt has higher atomic mass. Okay, so it should be if the element has higher atomic mass, so it should be placed after the lower atomic mass, because the sequence was increasing order of their atomic masses. So the one with lower atomic mass should be placed first, and the one with higher atomic mass should be placed afterwards. But it did not happen in case of cobalt and nickel. Cobalt with higher atomic mass was placed before nickel, and since nickel has low atomic mass, it was placed after cobalt. So this was a drawback in Mendeleev's periodic table. And the biggest problem of Mendeleev was no place for isotopes was given, no fixed position for isotopes was given. Since the table had horizontal rows and vertical columns were called as groups. Elements in the same group show same chemical properties. So what about isotopes? Should they be placed in the same position, like one isotope, or should they be placed one below the another, since they have same chemical properties, or they should be placed one after the another? Why so one after the another? Because they have increasing atomic masses. So no fixed position was given to isotopes. Okay, so that was the biggest problem with isotopes. So here you can see isotopes were yet to be discovered. As you can see here, isotopes were discovered a long time after the Mendeleev's put forth the periodic table, and isotopes have same chemical properties but different atomic masses, so they should be placed one after the another or one below the another. So in short, you can say no fixed position was given to isotopes. Even there was problem with hydrogen. Hydrogen resembles properties of both alkali metals as well as halogen. Since hydrogen has one electron in its outermost shell, so it has valency 1. Same is with alkali metals. Alkali metals are group 1 metals. So group 1, what is group 1? So here you can see elements here, they are called as group 1. Why group 1? They are placed in first group, so they are called as group 1. So elements in the group 1, they are called as alkali metals. So where should hydrogen be placed? In the group of halogens, hydrogen be placed in group of halogens or in group of alkali metals. Since hydrogen has valency 1, same as with alkali metals, all alkali metals has valency 1 because they have one electron in their outermost shell. Even same is case with halogens. Halogens has 7 electrons in their outermost shell. So 7, so their valency is 1. What is valency? This is like combining capacity. But in short, अगर मैं explain करना चाहूँ तो उनके last shell में 8 आना चाहिए, यानी duplet आना चाहिए या फिर octet आना चाहिए. So duplet complete करने के लिए और octet complete करने के लिए वो कितना देते हैं और कितना लेते हैं, उसे हम लोग बोलेंगे कि क्या है उनकी valency. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं ऑक्सीजन की बात करूँ तो ऑक्सीजन के लास्ट शेल में कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है? 6. सो अभी वो 6 डोनेट करना है, टू डिफिकल्ट, कोई भी 6 डोनेट नहीं करेगा. तो रादर देन डोनेटिंग 6, ऑक्सीजन विल एक्सेप्ट 2. तो ये उसने 2 एक्सेप्ट किया, तो उसकी वैलेंसी कितनी हो गई? 2. ओके, अब हम आते हैं कैल्शियम के पास. कैल्शियम के लास्ट शेल में कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है? 2. तो अब लास्ट शेल में सिर्फ 2 है, तो कोई उसको 6 देगा क्या? नहीं, नो वे. 6 गेन करना इज अ डिफिकल्ट टास्क. सो व्हाट कैल्शियम विल थिंक, इंस्टेड ऑफ गेनिंग 6 आई डोनेट माय 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन. सो इस केस में कैल्शियम अपने 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स डोनेट करेगा, तो इसकी वैलेंसी कितनी हुई? 2. अगर लास्ट शेल में 1, 2 या 3 है, अगर लास्ट शेल में 1, 2 या 3 है, सो ये जनरली मेटल्स ही होते हैं और ये एलिमेंट्स क्या करते हैं? इलेक्ट्रॉन्स दे देते हैं, क्योंकि 1, 2 और 3 है तो वो ये सोचते हैं कि रादर देन एक्सेप्टिंग इट इज बेटर. एक्सेप्टिंग नहीं, लेकिन इतना गेन कैसे करेंगे ना, इट्स सो डिफिकल्ट कि कोई अपने को 5 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स दे, कोई अपने को 6 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स दे, कोई 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स दे. So वो थिंक करते हैं कि रादर देन गेनिंग 6 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स एंड वेटिंग फॉर 6 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, इट्स बेटर कि हम लोग क्या करें, वो एक इलेक्ट्रॉन या 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन या 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन क्या कर दे? डोनेट कर दे. On the other hand, if element has 5, 6 or 7 electrons in their outermost shell, they'll wait for the electrons, they'll ask for the electrons. So 5 है वो कितना लेगा? 3 लेगा, तो उसकी वैलेंसी हो गई 3. 6 है वो कितना लेगा? 2, तो उसकी वैलेंसी हो गई 2. 7 है वो कितना लेगा? 1, तो उसकी वैलेंसी हो गई 1. सो 1, 2, 3 वाले हमेशा देते हैं, 5, 6, 7 वाले क्या करते हैं? लेते हैं. सो दिए 1, 2, 3 लिए कितने? 3, 2, 1. ये हो गई हमारी वैलेंसी की क्या हो गई? डेफिनेशन नॉर्मल वर्ड्स में. सो अब यहाँ पे क्या है, मेंडलीव के इसमें क्या था कि ये जो हाइड्रोजन है इसकी प्रॉपर्टी दोनों के साथ मैच होती है, हैलोजेंस के साथ एज वेल एज अल्कली मेटल्स के साथ. अल्कली मेटल्स हैज 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन इन देयर आउटरमोस्ट शेल, सो वैलेंसी इज 1. सेम इज विथ हैलोजेंस. हैलोजन की भी वैलेंसी 1 है, सिंस दे हैव 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. 7 है तो एज आई टोल्ड, अभी जस्ट आई टोल्ड कि 7 है तो व्हाट दे विल डू, दे विल एक्सेप्ट 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन. सो बोथ द केसेस, अल्कली मेटल्स दैट इज फर्स्ट ग्रुप, halogens उनका भी वैलेंसी क्या है? 1. So no fixed position was given to hydrogen. So there was great confusion regarding position of hydrogen. The second problem is there was great confusion regarding position of isotopes. And third problem was cobalt and nickel. So nickel should be first, like before cobalt, but the case was cobalt was first and nickel was second. So at certain places you can say elements with higher atomic masses were placed before lower atomic masses in Mendeleev's periodic table. So we saw 3 demerits: cobalt, nickel, isotopes, hydrogen. Okay, so I guess here it is hydrogen, what they have discussed. Okay, third point we'll discuss: when elements are arranged in the increasing order of atomic masses, the rise in atomic mass does not appear to be uniform. It was not possible therefore to predict how many elements could be discovered between 2 heavy metals. Yes, so since the elements are arranged like there was no fixed number, it does not appear uniform, so there was great confusion. Okay, so these were the problem of Mendeleev's, or you can say these were the demerits of Mendeleev's periodic table. Like I would like to revise merits and demerits. Okay, we'll discuss both. First we'll discuss merits and then I'll discuss demerits. Okay, let's start. Merits of Mendeleev's periodic table. Mendeleev was the first who could classify all the 63 elements known at that time. Okay. Second, Mendeleev, what he did, he kept some blank spaces in his periodic table, predicted the properties of those elements, and when those elements were found, like later they were found to be correct, like those properties were found to be correct. The third point is, you can say, he kept a group in his periodic table for the elements or for the noble gases that were yet to be discovered, like those were not discovered. Those discoveries, इसकी डिस्कवरी हुई नहीं थी कि इसकी डिस्कवरी नोबल गैसेस इनर्ट गैसेस की, लेकिन मेंडलीव का प्रेडिक्शन था कि फ्यूचर में ये आएंगे तो इनको टेबल में रख देना विदाउट डिस्टर्बिंग द पोजीशन ऑफ अदर एलिमेंट्स. Doubtful atomic masses, as you can say, beryllium example. So doubtful atomic masses of certain elements were corrected. Example, you can say beryllium 14.9, it was corrected to 9.4. So certain places doubtful atomic masses were corrected, and you can see the table, like the Mendeleev periodic table could be used to predict the properties or to correct the atomic masses of certain elements. So these were the merits. Now we'll come to demerits. What are demerits? First is hydrogen. No fixed position was given to hydrogen, and like resembles with the properties of halogens as well as alkali metals. So there was great confusion regarding the position of hydrogen. Halogen में place करे या फिर alkali metals में. Later वो alkali metals के section में place किया गया due to some reason. वो solve नहीं हुआ था problem, लेकिन hydrogen की position. Second, isotopes. Isotopes they have same atomic number but a different atomic mass number. So what should be done? Like they should be placed in same group, since they have same chemical properties, or they should be placed one after the other. So we can say there was great confusion regarding the position of isotopes. Third, at certain places elements with higher atomic masses were placed before lower atomic masses. एग्जाम्पल देने की बात की तो क्या होगा, कोबाल्ट और क्या होगा, निकल होगा. और हमने एक पॉइंट देखा यहाँ पे, here you can see. So ये जो इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर ऑफ एटॉमिक मासेस था, इट डज नॉट अपीयर क्या, यूनिफॉर्म. सो ये थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लमेटिक था कि प्रेडिक्ट करने के लिए प्रॉपर्टीज वगैरह. ओके, सो ये देखते हैं डीमेरिट्स ऑफ मेंडलीव्स पीरियोडिक टेबल. कंपाउंड्स ऑफ H है, कंपाउंड्स ऑफ NaCl है, सिमिलैरिटी इन हाइड्रोजन एंड अल्कली मेटल्स. तो ये उन्होंने दिया एलिमेंट मॉलिक्यूलर फॉर्मूला है, कंपाउंड्स है. ये जो बताना है कि सिमिलैरिटी, हमने बताया कि कहाँ पे रखना है उसको, हैलोजेंस या अल्कली मेटल्स में, वो उसके लिए डिस्कस किया है. सो ये सब हो गया. डॉबरेनियस का, ट्राइड्स का कंप्लीट हो गया, न्यूलैंड का हो गया, फिर मेंडलीव का भी हो गया. मेंडलीव इवन लाइक बॉटम लाइन और इन अ नटशेल ही वाज नॉट सक्सेसफुल इन द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एलिमेंट्स. देन केम हेनरी मूसले. So Henry Moseley said कि like I agree atomic mass is important property, but for the classification I would say atomic mass is not fundamental property, atomic number is the most fundamental property. यानी ये जो बिल्डिंग बनी थी एटॉमिक मासेस के ऊपर, डॉबरेनियस की, न्यूलैंड की, मेंडलीव की, ये पूरी की पूरी कोलैप्स हो गई, सिंस मॉडर्न पीरियोडिक टेबल सेज द मोस्ट फंडामेंटल प्रॉपर्टी इज एटॉमिक नंबर. सो जो फाउंडेशन था वो एटॉमिक मास से निकल गया, और द बेसिक फाउंडेशन कहाँ पे आया, एटॉमिक नंबर पे आया. सो हेनरी मूसले बोलते हैं कि द मोस्ट फंडामेंटल प्रॉपर्टी क्या है, एटॉमिक नंबर है. दोनों की डेफिनेशन सेम है, सिर्फ मेंडलीव में एटॉमिक मास है एंड हियर यू कैन सी इज एटॉमिक नंबर. इनका भी, हेनरी का भी यही कहना है कि ये क्या है, पीरियोडिक है. पीरियोडिक का मतलब क्या है कि प्रॉपर्टीज एक टाइम के बाद क्या होगी, रिपीट होते जाएगी. प्रॉपर्टीज एक टाइम के बाद क्या होंगे, रिपीट होंगे. इसे हम लोग बोलते हैं पीरियोडिक फंक्शन, यानी खुद को एक टाइम के बाद क्या करना, रिपीट करना. प्रॉपर्टीज एक टाइम के बाद क्या होंगे, रिपीट होंगे. सो देखते क्या है. So the scientific world did not know anything about the interior of the atom when Mendeleev put forth the periodic table. After the discovery of electron का हुआ तो फिर बाद में atomic number ये concept आई. देखो इलेक्ट्रॉन आई, इसके लिए एटॉमिक नंबर ये कंसेप्ट आई. नहीं तो फिर उनको लगता था न्यूक्लियस में ही सब कुछ है, तो उनके लिए इम्पोर्टेंट प्रॉपर्टी कौन सी थी, एटॉमिक मास थी. फिर ये इंग्लिश साइंटिस्ट है हेनरी मूजले, उन्होंने बताया कि द मोस्ट फंडामेंटल प्रॉपर्टी इज एटॉमिक नंबर एंड नॉट एटॉमिक मास नंबर। तो देखते हैं, एटॉमिक नंबर इज मोर फंडामेंटल प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ एन एलिमेंट देन इट्स एटॉमिक मास। अकॉर्डिंगली द स्टेटमेंट ऑफ द मॉडर्न पीरियोडिक लॉज वही है, पूरा का पूरा वही है। प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ एलिमेंट्स आर पीरियोडिक फंक्शन ऑफ देयर एटॉमिक मासेस, ये मेंडलीव का था। ऑफ देयर एटॉमिक नंबर्स, ये किसका आएगा, मॉडर्न पीरियोडिक टेबल का आएगा। The modern periodic table is also called as long form of the periodic table. क्या बोलते हैं इसको, long form of the periodic table. Now, we'll start with the structure. If you look at the structure of modern periodic table, for reference we can have here. Okay. So if you look at the structure of modern periodic table, even he arrange elements in horizontal rows and vertical columns. Horizontal rows were known as periods and vertical columns were known as groups. But in modern periodic table, there were 7 horizontal rows known as periods and 18 vertical columns known as groups. So कितने horizontal rows थे, 7, और vertical columns कितने थे, 18 थे। किसमें थे, modern periodic table। इनका भी क्लासिफिकेशन सेम था मेंडलीव के जैसे कि एलिमेंट्स आप पहला लो एटॉमिक नंबर्स के हिसाब से लो, मासेस के हिसाब से नहीं लो। मैंने मेंडलीव के हिसाब से एटॉमिक नंबर से एटॉमिक मासेस से किया था। अब मॉडर्न पीरियोडिक टेबल बोलता है एटॉमिक मास का कुछ लेना देना नहीं है, स्टार्ट अरेंजिंग एलिमेंट्स अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर एटॉमिक नंबर। सो एटॉमिक नंबर के हिसाब से सारे एलिमेंट्स को अरेंज किया। फर्स्ट लो, सेकेंड वाले की प्रॉपर्टी अगर उसके साथ मैच है तो प्लेस बिलो इट, एल्स नेक्स्ट टू इट। सो देयर वाज नो पैटर्न फिक्स, देयर वाज नो नंबर फिक्स, just start arranging elements. If they possesses similar chemical properties, place below it or else next to it. But once you start with the next row, start with the next row. If you start with third row, go to third row. You cannot come up again to the previous row. Okay. So here you can see, so 7 horizontal rows and 18 vertical columns you can see. Okay. So now if you look at this first period contains 2 elements, those are hydrogen and helium. First period contains 2 elements, hydrogen and helium. Second period and third period, they are called as short period. Second period consisting of 8 elements each. Second period and third period, they are called as short periods consisting of 8 elements each. So fourth and fifth, they are the long, those are not the longest, but here you can see here they have 8 and here they have 1 2 कितना हो जाएगा 18 एलिमेंट्स, 18 है ना। सो यहाँ पे कितने थे 8 और यहाँ पे कितने हैं 18 एलिमेंट्स। सो फोर्थ एंड फिफ्थ लॉन्ग है तो और भी लॉन्गेस्ट है, बट ये इसमें कितने थे 18 एलिमेंट्स ईच। फर्स्ट केस में कितने हैं 2 एलिमेंट्स, सेकेंड एंड थर्ड उनको शॉर्ट पीरियड्स कहा जाता है, कंसिस्टिंग ऑफ कितने हैं 8 एलिमेंट्स ईच। फोर्थ एंड फिफ्थ में कितने एलिमेंट्स है 18 एलिमेंट्स ईच, उनको लॉन्ग कहा जाता है। ओके ये अब मैंने आपको सिर्फ एक टेबल की जानकारी दी। सो फर्स्ट में 2 आएंगे, नेक्स्ट में 8 8 18 एंड 18। सिक्स्थ और सेवेंथ यू कैन सी दे हैव समथिंग, इनको बोलते हैं लैंथेनाइड सीरीज एंड एक्टिनाइड सीरीज। लैंथेनाइड सीरीज इसके लिए कहा जाता है कि ये लैंथेनम के बाद आते हैं एंड ऑल द एलिमेंट्स शो सिमिलर केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज। सो इंस्टेड ऑफ प्लेसिंग वन बिलो दी अनदर एंड डिस्टर्बिंग द होल टेबल, अब अगर वन बिलो दी अनदर करते थे तो ऐसा आता था, देखो 6th पीरियड में फर्स्ट सेकेंड थर्ड लैंथेनम के बाद सभी की केमिकल प्रॉपर्टी सेम है तो उनको एक के नीचे एक रखो। सो पूरा टेबल बनता ही नहीं था, ऐसे जनरेशंस चले जाते थे लेकिन टेबल बनता ही नहीं था। तो उन्होंने क्या बोला कि ये है ना, लैंथेनम के बाद ये इतने एलिमेंट्स है जिनकी प्रॉपर्टी सेम है, एक्टिनियम के बाद इतने एलिमेंट्स है जिनकी प्रॉपर्टीज सेम है। तो एक काम करते हैं, इंस्टेड ऑफ प्लेसिंग वन बिलो दी अनदर, उनको टेबल के नीचे ले लेते हैं, नीचे प्लेस करते हैं जहां पे दे विल हैव सिमिलर केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज। सो ऐसा उन्होंने किया। इसके लिए ये जो है लैंथेनम एंड एक्टिनियम, लैंथेनाइड सीरीज एंड एक्टिनाइड सीरीज, इनके केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज सेम है लेकिन तो भी इनको ऐसे नीचे इसके लिए रखा है बिकॉज दे हैव सेम केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज। एंड लाइक मॉडर्न पीरियोडिक टेबल, हेनरी डिड नॉट वांट टू डिस्टर्ब दिस एंटायर टेबल जस्ट फॉर द पोजिशन ऑफ दिस टू लैंथेनाइड सीरीज एंड एक्टिनाइड सीरीज। सीरीज इसके लिए कहा जाता है बिकॉज दे स्टार्ट आफ्टर लैंथेनम। यहाँ पे क्या है एक्टिनियम के बाद, सो दे स्टार्ट आफ्टर एक्टिनियम, सो इट्स सीरीज, लैंथेनाइड सीरीज एंड एक्टिनाइड सीरीज। In modern periodic table, this table was divided into 4 blocks, SPGF, SPTF. So SHAR principle क्या क्या है? So S block, P block, D block, F block, sharp, principal, diffusion, fundamental. तो ऐसे इसमें ये टेबल पूरा 4 ब्लॉक्स में डिवाइड किया गया है. See, now you'll understand why classification is necessary. Classification makes your entire thing easy to understand. You can learn similarities, differences, features, like many more things. So there was classification, and here you can see, so this classification of elements, and now you'll be you'll be able to memorize, you'll be able to recall many elements, and you'll understand how the classification was made. Okay. So as I told you, so he started arranging elements into different blocks: S block, P block, D block, and F block. So here you can see S block was placed on extreme left hand side of the periodic table, P block was placed on the right hand side of the periodic table, whereas G is in the middle of the periodic table, and F is at the bottom of the periodic table. So S, P, D and F is at the bottom of the periodic table. S block consists of all metals, P consists of metals, non-metals and metalloids, D contains metals, and F contains metals. So metals, non-metals, metalloids and metals. S is metal, P is metals, non-metals, metalloids, D metal, F metal. Okay, so I hope you are bit clear. I am not asking you are fully clear, but you are bit clear with the classification of elements. So what modern periodic table did, what is modern periodic table is also called as long form of the periodic table. So in this long form periodic table, there were 7 horizontal rows known as periods. I am just revising so that we don't mess up, and we don't mess up in our mind with all those points. So let's bifurcate it. So there were 7 horizontal rows known as periods, 18 vertical columns known as groups. So here you can see first period contains 2 elements, hydrogen and helium. Second and third contains of 8 elements each. Fourth and fifth contains 18 elements each. Sixth and seventh was few years before, 7th was called as incomplete table. It had few elements which were yet to be discovered. So 6th is the longest, 6th was the longest. So at the bottom there is F block elements, that is lanthanide series and actinide series. Lanthanide series, it is after lanthanum. Actinide series is after actinium. They have similar chemical properties, so the table should not get messed up. So they are placed at the bottom of the periodic table. So group 1, see, please have a look. Group 1, they are called as alkali metals. Group 2, you can see here, group 2 is called as alkaline earth metals. Group 2 is called as alkaline earth metals. Group 17, halogens, and group 18 is called as noble gases, inert gases. Group 1, alkali metals. Group 2, alkaline earth metals. Group 17, halogens. Group 18 is inert gases, noble gases. So 0. Why they are called as 0 group? Because their valency is 0. They are chemically inactive. They will not take part in any chemical reaction, as they are completely inactive, chemically inactive. Their outermost shell has how many electrons? 2 electrons or 8 electrons. We can say their duplet or octet state is complete. So they will neither donate electron nor accept electron. So they are called as 0 group elements. Here you can see. So the table is divided into 4 blocks: S, P, D, F. S block is placed on extreme left hand side of the periodic table. P is on extreme right hand side of the periodic table. D is in the middle. F is at the bottom. S block contains metals. P contains metals, non-metals, metalloids. D contains metals, and F contains metals. Okay, so S, P, D, F. Okay, so are you clear with these points? So I hope. So one question you can be asked, why they are placed at the bottom of the periodic table? Because they possess similar chemical properties. F block elements, so they have similar chemical properties, so they are placed at the bottom of the periodic table. So now periods and electronic configuration. Before starting with it, I would like to inform you, this Henry, what he did, he made this bifurcation, or he classified elements on the basis of atomic number, correct? and what he made, like he was clear with this classification. Elements in the same group will have same electronic configuration and they will have same chemical properties. What does that mean? Elements in the same group will have same valency, they'll have chemical properties and you can say electronic configuration. Please pay attention. Hydrogen has 1 electron in its outermost shell. Lithium will have 1 electron in its outermost shell. Same with sodium, same with potassium. So elements in the same group will have same chemical properties 1 and they will have same valency. So group 1 has valency 1. Group 2 valency 2. Will leave D block, will come here. 13 will have valency 3. 14 valency 4. Okay, so valency 4, or you can say outermost shell will have 4 electrons. 15, group 15 will have 5 electrons in its outermost shell. 16 will have 6 electrons in its outermost shell. 17 will have 7 electrons in its outermost shell. 18 will have 8 electrons in its outermost shell. While discussing this, we are not including G block part. So group 1 will have 1 electron in its outermost shell, will have same chemical property, and even all of those elements in the same group, they have same chemical property and same valency. Okay, so group 1 will have 1 electron in its outermost shell, group 2 will have 2 electrons, group 13 will have 3 electrons, 14 will have 4, 15 will have 5 electrons in its outermost shell, 16 will have 6, 17 will have 7 electrons in its outermost shell, and 18 will have 8 electrons in its outermost shell. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this concept. Like I would advise you to please revise this. Let's make modern periodic table very clear in your mind. So what you'll do is you'll listen to this video again so that you are clear with the concept, and when I'll in the next session I'll make clear the next part of it. Okay, so we'll have a clear vision of it. So today what we saw, Dobberenius Newland we saw in the previous session. What we saw today was merits and demerits of the Mendeleev's periodic table. So merits, demerits I made very clear. I discussed them twice or thrice in this video. Then we came up with Mendeleev modern periodic table, Henry. And so we saw what was the fundamental property. The most fundamental property was atomic number, how he classified elements, and how this table was made. Okay, so in the next session we'll continue. We'll stop here. Bye. Take care guys.